Her story's turning into gold. She's taking her power back. Yeah, she's on the rise. Strength in her soul, fire in her eyes. Keeping God first, watch her dreams unfold. Her life's a diamond, breaking the mold. Oh, she's taking her power back. Yeah, she's taking her power back. Harmony.
Welcome to Simple Notes, 20 minutes of Simple Notes from Rita. I am your host, Rita Taylor. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm flying solo, or I'm riding solo. You have only me today for the next 20 minutes. And I just want to talk to you in regards to a few Simple Notes from Rita that I've posted over the years, which is how this show came about. I used to post Simple Notes from Rita, just little quotes, and I would place them on social media. And some of those Simple Notes from Rita kind of stuck with me, and a couple of them I want to talk to you about today and kind of elaborate a little bit more on it. And one of the Simple Notes from Rita was, the call on your life is greater than your critics. Everything doesn't require a response. Stay focused. Again, that Simple Note from Rita is, the call on your life is greater than your critics. Everything does not require a response from you. Stay focused. With your call, whatever it might be, whether it's in the marketplace, whether it's in the ministry, whether it's in your home, you have a call, you have a purpose on your life. And part of being where you are in certain positions, especially the higher you are, critics, it comes with it. It's just part of the territory. You have to make sure that you understand that what you're in or what you're doing is going to actually kick up some dust at times. So with that and knowing that, you have to also understand everything does not require or should deserve your time and attention and your energy. So you have to know what you should actually respond to and what you should ignore. So the call on your life is greater than your critics. What are you going to do about critics? What are you going to do about people that make crazy comments about you? And sometimes you ignore the comments, and sometimes there are times you need to address certain things. But most of the time, most of your critics are just that, critics. So I want to encourage you on today to make sure that you are focused on your assignment. Remember the call on your life. Whether you're working somewhere and just on assignment, God has placed you in a particular location, or whether it's in ministry, whether it's just in your home, which is a great assignment itself. Remember why. Remember your why you're doing what you're doing. And sometimes these things come along just to distract us and to get us off focus, to cause us to waste our energy on foolish things and things that we should not even be paying attention to and addressing, to get us away from what we're called to do. So critics are useful at times. Sometimes you do need to listen to some things that your critics are saying, because if you reflect and you look at it, hey, it may be areas in your life that you need to tweak. It may be areas in your life that you can improve. It may be some things that need to be corrected. So sometimes they actually have a particular role that they play. So although they are critics and although they make comments about you, you have to be able to decipher what deserves your attention and what does not. Now, does everything that's said about you, does it play a role? Some does and some does not. You have to determine what part plays a role. And you have to determine as well if you're going to use it as a stumbling block or as a stepping stone. Life is too short. It's too short to be given time and attention to things that does not matter. Things that will only be, maybe in the news 2 or 3 seconds or 2 or 3 days, and then it's gone. So I want us to really take the time to sit back and think about the call that's on your life. What is it you desire to do? Where do you see yourself? What is your purpose? Do you even know what your purpose is? What are you going to dedicate 2026 to? Are you going to dedicate 2026 to your purpose? Are you going to stay focused? Or are you going to allow that time to be wasted? Time that you cannot get back. Time is a gift. It's a gift given to each and every one of us. And what we decide to do with it is up to us. What you desire to do with your time, what you decide to do with your time is up to you. What I decide to do with my time is up to me. I don't know about you, but I choose to stay focused in 2026, knowing that the time is short, knowing that what the gift that I have today, I don't get tomorrow. Tomorrow is a completely different day. So I need to embrace the gift of today and be useful with the time that I do have today. And sometimes addressing critics is not useful. Is it going to benefit me? Is it going to help me out? It's one thing to be constructive when you're criticism. It's another thing when you're criticizing, people are criticizing to tear people down. And that's not what we want to do. So you have to pick and choose and have discernment when it comes to critics. So that simple note is something that I think is still profound and it's relevant today, that the call on your life is much greater than your critics. Give more attention and time to the call, to what you're trying to do, where you're trying to get, your end goal, than you do your critics. And if you do that, you'll see yourself progressing and you will see yourself in a place of peace. And that brings me to another simple note. Don't surrender your peace. And you may be asking, what do you mean don't surrender your peace? You have the power to decide if you're going to give up your peace or not. And I understand that sometimes it depends on your environment. Sometimes you're not in always favorable conditions or environments where there is peace. But if you find yourself in a place of peace and you've worked to get to a place of peace, then make sure you fight to hold on to your peace. Don't surrender it. Don't surrender it to other people that are not at peace themselves. Sometimes when people are miserable, they want to pull you into their company. They want to pull you into a place of misery. Well, don't allow them. And if that means you have to be careful with who you surround yourself with, if you have to set healthy boundaries, then set boundaries that's going to help you stay in a place of peace, that's going to help you stay focused on being in a place of peace in your end goal. If that means you have to change relationships, unfortunately, sometimes that happens. When people are miserable, when they're not happy, they want to pull you back down and make sure that you are in that same place into their miserable party. So don't surrender your peace this year. Do due diligence to stay in a place of peace. As we said before on one of our episodes, we had a therapist on, and she was talking about getting to a place of being better mentally, what mental health is. And sometimes setting yourself in certain environments does not do well for your mental health. So if that means you have to surround yourself with other people, exclude certain people, if you have to take a trip or whatever it is that you have to hold on to your peace, make sure that you don't surrender that this year. Why? Your peace is precious. Your peace is valuable. Your peace is something that you have and that you have the power to keep. So I want to encourage you today with two things. Don't surrender your peace. And the other thing is your gift, the call on your life, what you've been called to do. Your purpose is so much greater than your critics. Pick and choose your battles. Every battle does not require a response from you. Make sure that you're using wise decisions when it comes to what you're engaging in and what you're choosing to stay quiet. One thing I do know, that at some point, the tide will turn. At some point, critics get tired and they move on to something else. So sometimes just being quiet is better than speaking up, because sometimes when you speak up, you're kicking up dust even the more. So know when to speak and know when to be quiet. Know when to avoid your critics and when to address your critics. And everyone that's criticizing you, not necessarily are haters as we call them, but it could be something that could be constructive criticism that you can actually use to help fuel you forward. So those are two of my simple notes from Rita for you on today. And if I was to leave you with something on today, it would be pick and choose what you're going to address. Cherish every moment that you have, and do not surrender your peace to anyone. So on Simple Notes from Rita, Those two things are something that sticks out, and I think it will help you in your life today, especially going through 2026. You do not want to go through 2026 wasting time that you cannot get back. And with that being said, there is something I want to talk to you about as well, and that's one powerful word: love. And there's a song that says, "What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of." Love is a small word, but it's so powerful, and it's needed on today. Love is expressive. Love is an action word. We can say that we love someone today, but at some point, you're going to have to show it. God is love. And if we say we know God, then we should know love. So I want to encourage the audience on today, as you go through this year, make sure you're expressing love, showing love to your fellow brothers and sisters, regardless of their race, regardless of their denomination, regardless of the home that they come out of or their social status. We are admonished, we are encouraged to show love to one another. Love is healing. Love has the power to pick up what's low. Love has the power to transform what's wrong. Love has the power to fix what's broken. But we are carriers of love. And people need to see it more in this world today than ever before. We have enough division. We have enough fighting. We have enough bickering. We have enough power struggles. We have enough of that. But what we don't have enough of is love. So will you choose to show love on today? And how does that look like? What does it look like in showing love? The way you show love may not be how your sister or your brother show love. And that's okay, as long as you are taking the steps to express love to someone that you meet on today. It can be a stranger. Show love. You know what? A smile. Giving someone a smile that's having a hard and rough day. Embracing someone that will allow you to give them a hug. Taking someone to lunch, and it doesn't have to be a 5-star restaurant. Picking up a gift from a store and giving it to someone, not because it's their birthday, not because it's their anniversary, not because you expect something in exchange, but you're doing it just because you want to do it out of love. You're doing it from a good place with no hidden agenda, no hidden motive. That's love. Sitting with someone that may have a loss, that may have lost a job, they may have lost a loved one, just sitting there. You're not sitting to critique. You're not sitting to give counsel, but you're sitting there being present. That's love. What else can you do to show love? Giving someone food that may not have food, and you know you have a pantry full of food, or someone may be in need and need gas money or need assistance with paying a bill, and you have it. That's love. Helping your brother and sister without posting it. Everything does not need to be posted when you are expressing and showing love. Be careful with what you're posting when you're trying to help people come from a low place to a better place. They may not be able to handle it emotionally. And sometimes people do struggle with asking for help and asking for a manner in which you can show love because they're afraid of what may happen afterwards, or they're afraid of a breach of confidentiality. So when you're expressing love, showing love, giving love, whatever way it looks like, however it looks, be very mindful and very, very careful of what you're sharing with other people and what you're sharing on social media. If you feel the need to share, get permission first. Make sure it's okay that you're sharing what it is that you're sharing from the person that you're helping. And if they say no, then that's fine, because your motive was to help them anyway. It wasn't to get likes. It wasn't to get followers, and it wasn't for monetization, but it was purely from a place of love. So when you're out on today, or this year actually, spread love. Be intentional. And you know where that love can start? Sometimes we need to work at spreading love better in our own homes. Sometimes we do more for people outside of our homes than we do on the inside. So be intentional this year with spreading love, starting in your home with your children, starting with your spouses, with your parents, with your siblings. Hey, let's just go have a girls' day. Let's just go have, let's go to the man cave on today. Just do something to spend time with each other. And it's not because you're expecting anything in return, but you're creating new memories. You're creating memories of love. You're creating memories that are lasting. Even when you're gone, your children can look back on, your grandkids can reflect on something that you are creating that they can look at and have these things as memories and expressions of love. And they can take what they've seen and they can cause it to pass down from generation to generation. Sometimes when we think about love or we think about passing things on or even inheritance, we often think of financial. It's not always in the finances. It's not always in the material things, but just being a family of love, expressing love, showing love, being out in the community, being a philanthropist, always looking out for other people, your community, your culture, whatever it is, that in itself can be something your children and your grandchildren can pass on for generations to come. So I really hope and pray that as you go through this year, that you are more intentional about expressing love, that you are not quick to surrender your peace, that you would do the work to fight for it and hold on to it. And if you're not in a place of peace, then you would do the work to get there, if that includes counseling, involving yourself with community, praying more, dedicating and setting aside time to meditate and pray and hearing God and hearing what he wants you to do and how he loves you and how he embraces you and he truly loves you. If that's what it looks like, if that looks like picking up the phone, calling a therapist, a counselor, a minister, someone that will help you get to a place of peace, then take the courage and do it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. And also, as you go through this year, being more mindful of involving yourself and responding to critics or people that may not understand you or people that may not like you. Be comfortable with being who you are, who God has called you to be, without always responding and giving up precious time to people that really does not deserve the time or the energy. I call them keyboard bandits. Sometimes they're behind the keyboard and they're bold and they're able to make statements that they may not necessarily make if it was an in-person conversation. But regardless of what their motive is or what they're doing, you have to be selective, be wise in what you're choosing to respond to. And also, the more you have, the higher you go, you open yourself up to people that will critique you. The more you post, you open yourself up to what people probably will critique. So you have to be willing and understand that some things come with the territory. Is it always fair? No. Is it always right? No. Does it hurt? Sure. You bleed just like everyone else does. But does it always need a response? Absolutely not. Your purpose doesn't change based on what people say. Your calling does not change based on what people think. The only one that has the power to pull you down and to change your calling is the one who gave you the calling, and that's God. At the end of the day, we report to him. At the end of the day, you have to remember why you were created and be busy about fulfilling purpose and living life and enjoying life and laughing and fellowshipping and building communities. Some of you are supposed to start businesses. If you're supposed to start a business, do the work. Surround yourself with people that you can glean from and start working toward your goal. Spend that time working toward your goal and making sure that you are doing what's going to be needed in the earth. Because I'm telling you, we are in need of love. We are in need of uplifting. We are in need of positivity, and we're in need of smiles. Everyone that you're meeting on today is fighting some form of a battle. Do not be so quick to hammer down on people. Try to be patient, and most importantly, show love. This has been another 20 minutes of Simple Notes from Rita. Please come back and join us for next week's episode. Bye-bye.
Oh, she's taking her power back. Yeah, she's taking her power back.